You're watching Hawkeye News with Lexi Belote, Chris McClure, Sports with Ryan Garr, plus Roseanne Foster with our crime-fighting reports, and more news coverage with our Hawkeye News Junior High team. Also, What's Up at the WC with Ashlyn Jones. Plus, academic and student life reports with Ivana Williams and our Hawkeye News team. Hawkeye News, leadership you can depend on.
Welcome to the first episode of Hawkeye News for 2009. I'm Lexi Belote.
And I'm Chris McClure. With the holidays behind us, we're all preparing for the second semester. There's a lot going on around the district, but before we get started, let's take a look at what's to come on this month's show. First up is Hawkeye News reporter Melissa Gonzalez, who's standing by with information on this year's Theater Fall Show. Melissa?
Thanks, Lexi and Chris. This year's Fall Show was performed in early January at the ROHS cafeteria. Over 30 friends and family came to see Miss Little's production class perform their fall show about two people who share a party line. Coming up later, I will have more information on this exciting event. Back to you, Lexi and Chris.
Thanks, Melissa.
Back with more progress on the Red Oak ISD bond programs, we now go to Hanan Asaili at the construction site of the new Red Oak High School. What do you have for us this month, Hanan?
Thanks, Chris and Lexi. It's great to be back in 2009 with more exciting news on the progress of our new high school and Shields Elementary School. As you can see behind me, the new sports complex is nearly complete and it looks awesome. Coming up, I will check in with Mr. Shupman on the progress. Chris and Lexi, back to you.
That sounds great, Hanan. We'll look forward to that.
New to our show in 2009, Hawkeye News will be checking in monthly with the Red Oak High School Renaissance program, highlighting their many community activities and events.
We now go to Ivana Williams, who's standing by with information on this month's Renaissance News. Ivana?
Thanks, Lexi and Chris. You're right. The Renaissance program here at ROHS has been around for a while. The program sponsor is Mrs. Guerrero, and her students coordinate and host some of the most awesome events. Coming up, I will be getting a closer look on the collection of all the school supplies for the Bridge City Beaumont area by Renaissance. Chris and Lexi, back to you.
Thanks, Ivana.
As our team coverage continues, we also want to welcome back to the show Hawkeye News reporter Emily Byers.
Emily is standing by with a report she brought to the newsroom featuring a place many of us may have never been. Emily?
Thanks, Lexi and Chris. We are talking about the library, a place very few students take advantage of. Coming up later in the show, we'll talk about some of the items and things you can do in the library that many students may not realize, more than anyone could even imagine. Chris and Lexi, back to you.
Thanks, Emily. Also new in 2009 is our exciting new segment featuring Red Oak High School CAPE programs, which bring home lots of awards each year.
Because Red Oak's Career and Technology program is also achieving large amounts of growth, Hawkeye News has created this new segment, which will give students a chance to hear and see what they can learn and what choices they have when selecting class schedules. We plan to feature 2 career and technology classes each month.
We go now to Ashley Temple, who's standing by with information on this month's Awesome K programs. Ashley?
Thanks, Lexi and Chris. Career and technical education prepares both youth and adults for a wide range of careers, from registered nurse to computer technician. These careers may require varying levels of education, from high school to post-secondary certificates to 2- and 4-year college degrees. Coming up later in the show, we highlight 2 CATE classes, computer maintenance and sports marketing. Chris and Lexi, back to you.
Thanks, Ashley.
Red Oak High School is serious about catching thieves, and they will catch you. Theft is a problem, especially after Christmas, with all the new gadgets, which you should not bring to school, that is, if you want to keep them.
For more on this topic, we go now to Hawkeye News crime anchor Roseanne Foster. Roseanne?
For Christmas, many of us got new cell phones, iPods, or perhaps some cash, and many of us will bring those items to school with us. After all, what good is a cell phone or an iPod if you can't use it? But we won't be able to use it at all if it's stolen. Coming up later in our show, I'll be back with tips on how to keep your new belongings safe and secure.
Thanks, Roseanne. Hawkeye News is committed to bringing you great news from around Red Oak ISD and the community.
And now we begin our new season in 2009 with this month's top stories. On January 20th, 2009, as many as 2 million people crowded into the area between the Capitol, the White House, and the Lincoln Memorial as President Barack Obama took the oath of office.
Some were miles from the swearing-in ceremony, watching on giant TV screens erected along the National Mall. Thousands arrived before daylight in standing room-only trains. They carried blankets and wore Obama scarves to ward off the wind chills below 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Suburban Washington train stations were jammed. A 4-story parking deck at the Springfield, Virginia station was filled at 5 a.m.
Crowds tightly packed the space around the inaugural stage, forming a long ribbon of people all the way to Lincoln Memorial at the other end of the National Mall. Most of them, if they were lucky, got to see President Obama's inauguration on one of a number of jumbotrons.
Barack Obama was sworn in as the 44th President of the United States Tuesday. He delivered a sober, plain-spoken inaugural address.
Our school board does so much for our district every month, and as it is School Board Recognition Month, it's appropriate that Red Oak chose to give a little something back to our school board.
Also, Red Oak ISD was selected for first place in the ATAC Texas Anti-Drug Program competition. For more, we go to Jasmine Simmons. Jasmine?
Thanks, Lexi and Chris. That's right. Our school board works hard every month. It is good to hear that Red Oak ISD is setting time aside to thank them for all their time and effort. Also, the school board members will spend some time later this month accepting a check from the Texas legislature for Red Oak's first place in the ATAC Anti-Drug Program competition.
During School Board Recognition Month, we take this opportunity to show our appreciation for the critical role of our Board of Trustees. As elected citizens, the role of a school board member is rewarding yet challenging. While they work to achieve their vision for continuous improvement in student learning, they also understand their responsibility to the Red Oak community and taxpayers for effective and efficient schools. Also, this month, the Red Oak ISD was elected for first place in the ATAC 2007-2008 Texas Anti-Drug Program competition. The Red Oak ISD Anti-Drug Program, which includes Project Success and Hawkeye News, was selected for recognition from more than 60 nominated across Texas. Associated Texans Against Crime, a program of the Today Foundation, presented a check in the amount of $1,000 to be used by the school to further its anti-drug initiatives. The Hawkeye News website Crime Education Zone was a major factor in being selected for first place in the state of Texas by the Associated Texans Against Crime.
Red Oak ISD is pleased to be receiving this award, and we appreciate the school board's time and effort as they work to build the best for Red Oak ISD, today and for tomorrow. For Hawkeye News, I'm Jasmine Simmons. Back to you in the studio.
We've all walked the crowded halls of the high school.
That's right, Lexi. I'm really looking forward to getting in the new high school. It's too bad you'll already be graduated. For more information on the high school's progress, we now go to Hawkeye News Bond reporter Hanan Asaili. Hanan?
Thanks, Chris and Lexi. As I mentioned at the top of the show, it is getting very exciting around Red Oak ISD with a sports complex near completion. We go to Mr. Shutman for this month's Bond Progress Report.
Hello, I'm Russ Shutman, Assistant Superintendent for Campus Operations for Red Oak ISD, here to give you your regular update on construction in the school district. I'll start out with the Shields Elementary project. That's coming along great. There's probably 75% of the exterior veneer brick that's up on the building. They're working on the interior of the building also, doing painting, putting up sheetrock, putting in windows. So there's a lot of interior work that's being done right now, as most of the exterior work is done with the walls and the brick and the roofing. So everything is on track there, and it's really looking good. Over at the high school project, as you drive by on a daily basis, you can literally see from the streets the progress that is being made. They started to put veneer brick on the outside of the competition gym. They actually installed the trusses for the ceiling of the gym, and they're putting in ceiling joists right now. The baseball, softball, tennis court project is 99.9% complete. We'll actually finish the punch on that this week, and we'll in about 3 weeks we'll have our first games being played in that complex. So we're really excited about that. The fields are looking great. It'll be a beautiful complex for our students to enjoy. In the field house, the roof is up. All the work there basically is now interior work with completing walls and lighting and things of that nature. And moving over to the rest of the facility, all of the cement flooring is in. So all the work being done now is from the ground up. You can see that probably 2/3 of the steel is up for the classroom portion of the project. You can see the 3 stories actually complete on about 1/3 of it. For the Performing Arts Center, they have completed the foundation for the floor, so you can actually go over there and see the ramps going up and how the whole thing takes shape. And as we move on, moving more toward the north, they're working also now on the walls for the other performing arts portion, the art facility, the band facility, theater arts, and also our choir. So those facilities the walls are being put up for those facilities. We're moving right along, and facilities really coming along nicely. The weather's really cooperated, even though we've had a couple bad days later. Overall, the weather's really been great for construction work and activity. So they're working on the outside of the building with bricking, the interior with walls, ceilings are going up. So you're seeing a little bit of everything in that whole construction project. And it is on schedule, right as we thought it would be, and so we're in very good shape. That's where we are with our updates. Things are really going along nicely, and I hope you're noticing them as you drive by.
Recently, Red Oak ISD hosted a luncheon at the site of Shields Elementary School. Current Shields teachers and staff were invited by the district to enjoy hamburgers and tour the construction site of the new campus. Teachers and staff took time to sign the beams inside, which will become the new library. Group photos and tour guides offer teachers an awesome first look at the new school building. That's it for this month. I will be back next month from the new Shields Elementary construction site with an in-depth look at the progress there. Reporting for the class of 2011, I'm Hanan Asaili, Hawkeye News.
Each year, band students across the state try out for the Texas All-State Band. This year, Red Oak had 2 students make the cut and several more missed by 1 or 2 spots. Red Oak's own trumpet player Caleb Cox and euphonium player Matt Davis made the Texas All-State Band. Hawkeye News would like to congratulate those two outstanding players. Red Oak also had many students that came very close to making the band. Corey Stillman, for example, missed by only one spot. Former All-State member Dylan Toombs also missed by 2 spots. The Red Oak High School Winter Color Guard recently competed in 2 competitions at Keller High School on January 17th, where they finished 2nd place in their division, and then last weekend at Lamar High School, where they also finished 2nd place. Additionally, our 2 officers, Amy Dottie and Brittany Tarver, competed in a mixed equipment that includes flags, rifles, and sabers, and they finished 1st place out of 20 entries. This is a very strong start to the competitive season for our Guard, which accumulates in the regional championships at the end of March. Congrats to these ladies. Great work to all those students who tried out, and congratulations once again to Matt Davis and Caleb Cox. For Hawkeye News, I'm Brianna Smith.
The Red Oak High School Theater Department recently performed Pillow Talk for this year's fall show. For more on this, we go to Hawkeye News reporter Melissa Gonzalez. Melissa?
As I mentioned earlier, this year's show was held in early January in the cafeteria. Over 30 friends and family came to see Miss Little's production class perform this humorous play about 2 people who share a party line. The 2 main characters, Jan Morrow, played by senior Hallie Davidson, and Brad Allen, played by junior Cody Rowland, share a phone line and begin to get to know each other. Brad lies to Jan about his identity so she would agree to go out on a date with him. After Jan finds out she was tricked, she gets back at him by completely redecorating his apartment. By the end of the play, the couple settles their differences and make up. Hawkeye News would like to congratulate the students on a job well done. I would also like to thank Ryan Garr for footage of the fall show. I'm Melissa Gonzalez, Hawkeye News.
As mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Hawkeye News will be checking in monthly with Red Oak High School Renaissance program, highlighting their many community activities and events. For a look at the program this month, we now go to Ivana Williams, who's standing by with more. Ivana?
Thanks, Chris. As I mentioned earlier, the Renaissance program here at ROHS has been around for a while. The program sponsor, Mrs. Guerrero, and her students coordinate and host some of the most awesome events. In December and January, the ROH Renaissance, in collaboration with Palmer, Midlothian, and Waxahachie, collected school supplies for the kids down in the Bridge City, Beaumont area. Hurricane Ike hit the Beaumont area and many of their schools were destroyed. All of the kids are in high school and portables for class right now and were in dire need of school supplies. Many of the supplies were for the elementary schools because they were the ones hit the hardest. Some supplies that were collected were tissue paper, popsicle sticks, stickers, and many craft supplies. On Tuesday, January 13th, the supplies were collected and shipped down to Beaumont, Texas, and hopefully should get there by the 14th. Thank you to everyone who donated supplies and helped out. You made a difference. We check back next month to see what else Renaissance is up to. Reporting for Hawkeye News, I'm Ivana Williams.
Though we have a great library here at Red Oak High School, it seems like very few students use it. Emily Byers is standing by with information on why this may be. Emily?
Thanks, Lexi. Our library here at Red Oak High has so much to offer, more than anyone could even imagine. Our librarians, Miss Heaney and Miss Glennie, have told me that most kids only come into the library with their classes. From the research I've done, I've learned that the library has about 25 regular visitors. If more kids knew what was in the library, would they use it more? I think so. The library has extremely popular books, the Twilight series by Stephenie Meyer. Other books are popular as well, such as the Harry Potter series. In addition, the library has a computer area that is hardly ever used. It's really not as boring a place as you would think. There are many resources, including online and test prep materials for all of you juniors and seniors getting ready to take the SATs. So come on down to the library and discover something great. I'm Emily Byers reporting for Hawkeye News.
According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, 18 of the 20 fastest growing occupations within the next decade will require career and technical education.
Because Red Oak's Career and Tech program is also achieving large amounts of growth, Hawkeye News has created a new segment which will feature our awesome career and tech classes offered to our high school students.
For the first of these segments, we go now to Ashley Temple. What do you have for us this month, Ashley?
Thanks, Lexi and Chris. Career and Technical Education prepares both youth and adults for a wide range of careers from registered nurse to computer technician. These careers may require varying levels of education, from high school to post-secondary certificates to 2- and 4-year college degrees. The Association for Career and Technical Education represents approximately 29,000 teachers, administrators, educators, and counselors involved in a career and technical education across the U.S. and abroad. Computer maintenance is one of the many technology classes offered at Red Oak High School. The computer maintenance class not only allows students a hands-on atmosphere, but there are also field trips to industry-leading technology companies, video conferencing with A+ students in other districts, and guest instructors from the technology industry. Students have the opportunity to test and receive A+ certification. This CompTIA A+ certification is an international industry credential that validates the knowledge of computer service technicians with the equivalent of 500 hours of hands-on experience. Some of the careers that involve this experience are computer and software engineer, network and computer system administrator, and technical support specialist. Red Oak High School is pleased to offer this course, usually reserved for college and graduate level students. Sports and entertainment marketing provides a solid knowledge base in the areas of marketing foundation, economics, sponsorship, public relations, sales, and advertising, licensing, and other industry-related topics. Due to an increasingly diverse world, companies are planning a variety of unique promotional activities to reach their clients. Becoming involved with event marketing through concerts, theater, movies, videos, sports, television, and radio is one of the most effective ways companies can market its products. Both of these classes offer many hands-on opportunities that can help later in the future. I'll be bringing more information on other CATE classes in later episodes. Until then, this is Ashley Temple reporting for Hawkeye News.
Every month, Hawkeye News reporter Casey Bird features a Red Oak ISD staff member in her segment Up Close and Personal. This month, Casey is back with 3rd grade teacher Kirsten Simpson. Casey?
Thanks, Chris. As we say sayonara to 2008 and hello to 2009, I'm back with another Up Close and Personal. This month, we have not just a new face, but from a new place, Kirsten Simpson from Shields Elementary.
This is my 14th year of teaching, which I can't believe. I started my teaching career in Missouri, and I taught in Missouri for 3 years. And then I went on a big adventure and moved to Houston on my own, completely on my own, and taught in Houston for 2 years. And then after that, I met my husband. I met my husband at my school in Houston. We got married and we moved to Cedar Hill, and then I've been in Cedar Hill for 8 years. And I have a daughter, and when my daughter was first born 8 years ago, I taught here at Shields, did a part-time job at Shields, and then we actually live in Red Oak, and my daughter goes to Shields, and so I was looking to move closer to home and be closer to our house, and it's been fun to go to school with my daughter too.
What do you like most about Red Oak District?
I think Red Oak is a great school district. It's got a great, there's lots of opportunities for kids out here. And I just appreciate the way the administration runs the district and just makes it wonderful for teachers here and for students too. So,
what do you look forward most to about the new school?
I cannot wait to be in a brand new building with new projectors on the ceilings and just to have a nice, new, clean, non-musty smelling room. I'm looking forward to being there.
What is an interesting piece of information you'd like to share?
This is what I always use when people ask me this. I went to Brad Pitt's high school in Missouri. So he's a little bit older than I am, but I actually knew his sister. So that's my interesting piece of information.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
That's it for me this month. I'll be back next month with another Up Close and Personal. I'm Casey Bird, Hawkeye News. Back to you, Lexi and Chris.
To catch us up on what we need to know about the second semester, we go now to Counselor's Corner for one of our more informative segments that offers news students can use.
Hi, my name is Moppy Miller, and I'm one of the counselors here at Red Oak High School. And I'm here to tell you about some things that are coming up in the next couple of weeks, so listen carefully. Number one, tax is coming up. ELA is just right around the corner, and then you all know that Math, Science, and Social Studies are a little bit later in end of April, 1st of May. Make sure you're taking care of business, getting ready for that English Language Arts and 9th graders, that reading test. Scholarship forms are out and about. Make sure that when you pick those up, they do no good unless you bring them back. Local scholarship forms are in the counselor's office. Please take care of those seniors as quickly as possible. Mr. Costar and I and Ms. Osborne have just started our registration process for the next school year. Believe it or not, we're already getting ready for our next school year. So be thinking about classes that you need and want to take for the next school year. Our acceptance letters are coming in. If you'll come by the counselor's office, not only will you see the letters, but you'll see the pictures of the people who have been accepted in the various schools that they're accepted at. What we need for you to do, seniors, we know you're going, we know you've been accepted, bring those letters in so we can share in the celebration. Also, some of you seniors have been already awarded money, so if you would please make sure that you bring in that paper. We'll make a copy, and we want to make sure that that's included in our senior nights assembly as well as on the commencement program, because we include all that information. Congratulations to the athletes who have signed at their respective schools. Please make sure that you come by, athletes, and share with us that information so we too can put that into the information for awards assembly night and for our commencement program. We are very excited that Mr. Kostar is back on campus. He returned in January. He's in great health, and we sure are glad he's back. So come by and see us, everybody.
This month there's quite a bit going on throughout the district, and the elementary and intermediate schools are no exception.
So let's get started with this month's elementary intermediate report.
Mrs. Susie Keene's third grade gifted and talented class recently went on a dig to learn how archaeologists carefully remove ancient artifacts from the earth. This was an enrichment activity to go with their recent study of Egypt.
The PTA has recently released a cookbook, which contains recipes by staff in the Red Oak School District. The high school contributed the most recipes. The book costs $10 and checks are payable to Red Oak Council of PTAs.
Students, faculty, and staff at Eastridge Elementary all participated in signing posters bearing certificates for each of the ROISD school board members to show appreciation for the board this week.
Eastridge hosted its third annual Spelling Bee on January 16, 2009. 12 students competed in the contest. Teachers Miss Martha Ringhauser and Mr. Kevin Ferguson served as judges. Miss Melinda Mangum, librarian, coordinated the event. First grade student Charles Palmer of Red Oak Elementary is not sure he wants his teeth polished by Dr. Katie Lippus and her assistant, who are with the Mobile Dentist Smile programs, an in-school dental prevention program that travels to school campuses. Third grade student Anna Mae McAdams of Red Oak Elementary has her teeth polished by Dr. Katie Lippus.
Several 5th and 6th graders from ROI participated in this year's Mathathon program that raised money for St. Jude's Research Hospital to aid in the fight against childhood cancers. Vanessa Gonzalez raised $300 and received a digital camera for her efforts. With football season now only a memory, Hawks fans turn their attention to a host of spring sports, including basketball and soccer.
For more on the Hawks and Lady Hawks teams, we turn things over to our sports anchor, Ryan Gott.
Thanks, Chris and Lexi, and hello, Hawks and Lady Hawks sports fans. You're now entering the Athletic Zone. This month, we take a look at both the Hawks and Lady Hawks basketball and soccer seasons, as well as bring back Patches, the Goose, and Seth Rushing for updates on powerlifting, swimming, and information on recent signing ceremonies for many of our athletes. Plus, Hawkeye News West Campus reporters join the sports department with news on freshman and JV sports. Now for the basketball highlights. The Varsity Hawks basketball team started off the season winning third place in the Mesquite Petite Tournament and then went on to beat Corsicana 59-54. The Hawks then lost to West Mesquite 57-59 before beating Houston Lamar 52-50. The boys improved their record to 9-9 for the season and 1-1 in district, with a win over West Mesquite 69-60. In overtime, the Hawks went on to beat Maybank 68-67. The Hawks then lost to Terrell 64-70 and Ranchview 62-68. In a tremendous defensive effort by the entire team, the Hawks beat Mesquite Petite 44-35. At press time, after losing to West Mesquite 50-67, the Hawks would win 2 in a row against Maybank 58-45 and Terrell 51-42. In Lady Hawks basketball news, the girls started off January facing the Lancaster Tigers, losing that hard-fought match 57-65 Lancaster. The Lady Hawks then faced off West Mesquite at home, losing the second match of the month 53-75 West Mesquite. The Lady Hawks would finally catch a win as they went to face Maybank, game ending 60-52 Lady Hawks. They would not be able to hold on to that luck, losing to Allen Mesquite Petit. The Stars would align once again for the Lady Hawks, while they faced the Forney Jackrabbits, winning the game 64-47. The Lady Hawks varsity basketball team then suffered a tough district loss at West Mesquite, final score ending 87-56. These ladies played hard throughout the game, but were not able to make a much-needed comeback. This dropped their overall record to 13-17 and 3-7 in district play. The ladies then won a big district game against Maybank, with a final score of 68-59. The Lady Hawks varsity basketball team then played their final game of the 2008-2009 season in Terrell. These ladies suffered a tough defeat to end their season at 14-18 overall and 4-8 in district play. Final score in the game was 60-49. The Lady Hawks finished the season 5th in district play, which is one game out of a playoff spot. The Hawks and Lady Hawks soccer season kicked off last January. The boys started off at the Lovejoy tournament, winning games against Fort Worth Polytechnic and Lovejoy, but then losing to McKinney North. The Hawks then lost to Forney at home before traveling to Aledo to face in the Aledo tournament. There they won games against Rockwall Heath and Fort Worth Arlington Heights, and losing to Highland Park. The boys also beat Fort Worth Polytechnic at the Lovejoy tournament. The Hawks then went on to defeat Killeen High School 2-1. The Hawks then beat Woodrow Wilson at Franklin Stadium 2-0 before losing to Cleburne 1-2 in early February. They then went on to face Ferris, winning the game 3-0. We'll have more on the Hawks soccer season in our next edition of Hawkeye News. The Lady Hawks soccer season started off in the Emily Hunter Memorial Tournament, winning to Amarillo Tascosa 2-1, but losing to Duncanville and North Mesquite. They then went to challenge their rivals in the Aledo tournament. They were matched with teams such as McKinney, Forney, and Granbury. The ladies finished up January, traveling to Mesquite Petite, losing that match 1-5. The ladies had then lost to Mesquite Petite and Denton Guy before tying with North Mesquite 2-2. The Lady Hawks soccer team had a very important victory when they defeated Dallas Conrad 7-0. This brings the Lady Hawks to a 3-6-2 season going into district. We'll have more on the Lady Hawks soccer season next month. Joining us now for the first time in 2009, we want to welcome Chris the Goose Futrell, who has updates on Red Oak High School swimming. What's happening, Goose?
Ryan, I guess I misunderstood. I have to report instead of swim. Anyways. Varsity boys and girls swim teams both won the District 15 4A championship in Rockwall. All swimmers qualified for the regional meet in Conroe in 2 weeks. Hunter Ganoza was named district swimmer along with Maddie Hooper, also making district as female and male swimmer. Coach Gretchen Ganoza was named District 15 4A Coach of the Year. Congratulations to our swim teams and good luck at regionals. Future meets include February 27th and 28th at the UIL State Meet at the University of Texas in Austin. Ryan, we'll keep a close eye on the swim team and let you know how things turn out in the regionals. Until then, this is the Goose reporting for Hawkeye News. Ryan, back to you.
I think I'm losing my air.
Thanks, Goose. Up next, we want to welcome back another member of our sports team who's standing by at the Red Oak High School gym. Well, I'm not sure what he's doing, though. What are you doing, Patches?
Oh, hey, Ryan. I'm just sitting here trying to think of what it might actually feel like to sign a letter of intent to a college. This month, I have information on 7 Red Oak ISD athletes who have signed such letters of intent. Hawkeye News would like to congratulate the following student athletes who are signing letters of intent to play college football. Red Oak High School senior Victor Cooper, who signed with East Central Oklahoma to play football. Red Oak High School senior Chris Eldridge signed with Lon Morris College to also play football. Red Oak High School senior Preston Sanders signed with Sam Houston State to play football and run track. Also, Red Oak High School senior Nick Boyd signed with Southeastern Oklahoma to also play football. We also want to mention and congratulate other athletes who have already signed letters early this school year. Shelby Hall signed with Abilene Christian University, Colby Kissinger signed with Grayson College, and Dana Hilzendegger signed with University of Texas at Dallas. Again, we congratulate these athletes and wish them the best of luck in college. Reporting for Hawkeye News, I'm Patrick Keene. Back to you, Ryan.
Thanks, Patches. Now we want to welcome back our newest member of the sports team who joined us in December and was delivered to us by Santa himself. Yes, we're talking about Seth, the Rush, rushing. What's happening, Seth?
Whew, thanks, Ryan. It's great to be on the show and not in a box, was else would kept me for months. But now I'm back with the news on the Red Oak powerlifting teams, who started off in January competing in the Forney powerlifting meet. The boys finished 8 out of 17 teams, and the girls beat 13 teams, scoring 35 points to win first place. Plus, we have details on the most recent powerlifting meet in Whitney. The boys finished 8 out of 17 teams. The girls beat 13 other teams, scoring 35 points to win first place. The Lady Hawks then competed in the Cannondale powerlifting meet and captured their second team title of the year. The Hawk team finished in 4th place out of 17 teams. Then the Red Oak boys powerlifting teams competed in Forney. The boys finished 8th out of 17 teams, with Dave McGee placing 5th in the 114-pound class with a total weight of 580 pounds, and Colby Houston finishing 5th in the super heavyweight class with a total weight of 1,145 pounds. Returning regional qualifier Blake Merowitz won the 114-pound class with a 745-pound total, including his personal best in all 3 lifts. Rounding up the scoring for the girls was Naomi Giron with a 4th place finish and Kiana Jones with 5th. In all, 8 out of the 11 competitors scored points, while the other 3 lifters, Ashlyn Jones, Kaylin Smith, and Brianna Massey, finished within 30 pounds of medaling. The Red Oak boys and girls powerlifting teams then went on to compete in the Whitney powerlifting meet. The boys placed 9th out of 20 teams. Dave McGee with the 4th place finish in the 114-pound class with a total of 620 pounds. Blake Merowitz was 1st place in the 123-pound class with a total of 825 pounds. And last, Daniel Claiborne with a 4th place finish in the 165-pound class with a total of 1,000 pounds. Also lifting for the boys were Alex McGraw, Jason Bethel, Freddie Cohen, Christian Diosdado, Eric Ray, Josh Simmons, Dundee Walker, and Carlos Pineda. The girls have also broke or tied 12 meet records. For complete lists of the girls or other student athletes on the results, visit the Athletic Zone at www.hawkeye-news.com. Starting from last year, this is the 5th straight meet the girls powerlifting team has won. We'll have more on the powerlifting teams next month. Until then, I'm Seth the Rush Rushing, Hawkeye News.
And finally this month, joining the sports department in 2009 is West Campus freshman reporters Ashlyn Jones and Wade Regas, who have news and updates on the freshman and JV teams. What's happening this month, guys?
This month in sports at the WC, I'll bring you up to date on freshman and JV Lady Hawk basketball.
And all the same for the boys, but ladies first.
Thanks, Wade. The Lady Hawks 9th grade started off January playing Lancaster in a thrilling game. The first half of the game was played offensively with a lot of play calling and very little pressing. At the end of the first half, Lancaster was down, which made them turn around their gameplay going into the second half much more aggressively. Red Oak held the lead and ended up winning the game by only 3 points. With a W in their win column, their record went up 2-1 in district play. The freshman Lady Hawks then went out to play West Mesquite in a game with many turnovers. The girls fought hard but came up short in the end. This brought their district record to 2-2. The 9th grade Lady Hawks basketball team took on West Mesquite. The last time these 2 teams faced each other, West Mesquite took the victory by over 20 points on our own court. After some strong defense and good ball movement, we had the lead at the half by 1. The second half was a hard-fought battle. We were able to get them into foul trouble, and it looked like we might just pull off the upset. Then, West Mesquite put in some fresh, strong players in the 4th. In the end, the ladies lost by 2. The 9th grade Lady Hawks basketball team finished its season with a win over Maybank. The final score was 37-22. The ladies finished up the season with a district record of 8-4 and an overall 14-11. Likely, this places the team at 3rd in district behind West Mesquite and Mesquite Petit. In JV Lady Hawk news, they defeated West Mesquite by the score of 35-19, pushing the record to 19-0 overall and 4-0 in district in late January and early February. The ladies then played a great game on senior night as they soared above the Lady Panthers from Maybank. The Lady Hawks had a commanding lead in the first quarter, 23-8. This set the pace for the rest of the game. In the second half, the Lady Hawks maintained a 48-26 lead. In the final quarter, the Lady Hawks were on cruise control. They managed to take the fight out of the Lady Panther, thus giving them a 58-37 win. And finally, the JV Lady Hawks defeated Terrell Lady Tigers to complete a great season. The Lady Hawks took the first quarter lead 10-6, setting the pace for the remainder of the game. The halftime score was 24-12. In the third quarter, Terrell came out proving to the Lady Hawks that they were not going away easy. They outscored the Lady Hawks 13-4 in the third. In the fourth quarter, the Lady Hawks held on and the game came down to making foul shots. The JV Lady Hawks finished off the district season with a 32-28 victory over Terrell. This win completed a 25-3 overall record and a 10-2 district record. Way to go, Lady Hawks! Now Wade has updates on the boys. How have we been playing, Wade?
Well, Ashland, the Red Oak Hawks JV basketball team started off the new year with a bang, winning their third straight tournament this season when they defeated West Mesquite 76-51 in their championship game.
In doing so, they pushed their perfect record to 13-0. The Hawks then opened a district with a loss against Lancaster 57-54. While the boys played very hard, they let a game they certainly had in their reach slip away at the final seconds. At press time, the Hawks took their 14-1 record into West Mesquite, and we'll have more on the JV next month. As for the freshmen, they defeated Maybank 48-43 in a game they got off to a quick start, outscoring Maybank 18-8 in the first quarter. With help from Chris Hamilton, who had 18 points, and Micah Jackson, who had 13. At press time, the freshman Hawks put their 7-10 record on the line against Terrell, and we'll wrap up both seasons next time on Hawkeye News. That's it for us. We'll hope you join us then.
I'm Ashlyn Jones.
I'm Wade Regas.
Back to you.
That about does it for the sports section this month. If you want more news and information on Red Oak sports, visit the Athletic Zone online at www.hawkeye-news.com. Thanks to all the coaches for all the news in the world of Red Oak High School sports. For the Athletic Zone, I'm Ryan Garr. Chris and Lexi, back to you.
As we mentioned at the top of our newscast, Red Oak High School is serious about catching thieves. Theft is a problem, especially after Christmas, with all the new iPods, cameras, clothes, and shoes.
For more on this topic, we go now to Hawkeye News crime anchor Roseanne Foster. Roseanne?
Thanks, Chris and Lexi. According to the National Center for Education Statistics, in 2005, among students ages 12 through 18, there were 868,100 reported thefts that occurred on school grounds. Chief Scott Lindsay estimates that at Red Oak ISD, 100 of the 153 reported crimes in the past year were theft. Red Oak ISD has taken a number of precautions to prevent theft in the district. With over 100 security cameras on the high school campus, many thefts are easily solved. However, that does not prevent their occurrence. According to Red Oak ISD Police Chief Scott Lindsay, the best way to prevent theft is to leave those high-risk items at home, particularly iPods and cell phones, as these two items are the most often stolen. If you do decide to bring these items to school, he recommends that you keep them in a pocket, purse, or backpack and never leave them unattended. It is also recommended to make good use of our lockers, assuming of course that we have a good lock on it and have not shared our combination or keys with anyone. The chief also suggested students keep the serial number, model name, and brand information on all electronics because should it be stolen, this information will aid the investigation and prosecution. The National Crime Prevention Council also adds to this list of recommendations, suggesting we avoid calling attention to our valuables. While it is good fun to listen to our newest ringtone, we may not be the only ones listening. The site goes on to recommend that should we decide to leave our valuables in our car, we lock the doors and be sure that the iPod, CD player, cell phone, or other valuable is out of sight. So what happens to the thief if and when he or she is caught? Theft is broken down by dollar amount. If the stolen item was under $50, then it is classified as a Class C misdemeanor. This carries a fine of up to $500 plus court costs, and Judge Kurt has made it clear that he will maximize the fines for theft. If the stolen item is worth more than $50, then the thief will be arrested and put on juvenile probation, or, if it is an adult, sent to the Ellis County Jail. The suspect will be fingerprinted and will have a criminal record for the remainder of their life. If they are 10 or above, this will occur, as juvenile records are no longer erased. This is in addition to being sent to AEP as called for by the ROISD Code of Conduct. Given these tough economic times, it's important to take care of our valuables, because there's no guarantee that they will be able to be replaced. Until next time, stay safe, Red Oak. For Hawkeye News, I'm Roseanne Foster.
The annual Mr. and Mrs. Red Oak pageant is scheduled for Saturday, February 21st, 2009 at 7 p.m.
The theme this year is Dancing with the Red Oak Stars, and each contestant will choose a Red Oak star to perform with him or her in a dance routine.
Again, that's the Mr. and Mrs. Red Oak pageant, scheduled for Saturday, February 21st. Well, that about does it for our first show of 2009.
We look forward to bringing you much more next month.
We also wanted to remind you that we would really love to hear from you. So if you have any news ideas, comments, or suggestions, you can write us at hawkeyenews@redoakisd.org or give us a call at 817-875-5527. And don't forget to check us out at www.hawkeye-news.com if you missed any of our reports or need more information on the Hawkeye News team. I'm Lexi Below.
And I'm Chris McClure. Until next time, thanks for watching.
And make it a great day.